Africa, if there's one issue that I'll never be tired of, is this one. And unfortunately, here in this country, our people are left with no defense at all. Even journalists, they're in the pockets of the multinationals, corporates, Zionist bastards who are running this world. I mean, the issues related to foreign nationals or parasites, let me call them for what they are, parasites. These are people who messed up in their own countries. They messed up. They voted long ago when we in South Africa had no right to vote. We fought for this country. They never helped us. Many of them, they claim that they have helped us. Liars. Liars. They were raping one another, killing one another in rebel wars, rebel factions. Yes, had it not been the fall of the Soviet, Perestroika, Glasnost, Reagan, Gorbachev, making peace, we'll still be oppressed. We'll still be oppressed. And you come here in this country, journalists, who are always demonizing our people. They are pushing the globalist, multinationals viewpoint that no, we need to educate our people. Our people are illiterate. They are ill-informed about why foreigners are here. We know why these guys are here. We've lived with foreigners before. But our people cannot be overwhelmed now. They've lived with foreigners. Oh, Banda. Oh, Kamuzu. Bebeza la bazohlala. Kube grand. But nowadays, we can't allow our borders to be 100% open like the ANC government. And these Zionists and journalists want South Africa to become free for all. I mean, look at Cape Town. You've got guys who are called refugees. These are not refugees. And our media, they call these guys refugees. The courts, they have made findings that these guys are not refugees. Their situation or their plight, it's self-inflicted. These are guys who came here opportunistically. Now they realize that, hey, it is tough in South Africa. South Africans themselves, they're having it hard. Joblessness is here. Health issues, education. Now they say, no, we want to go to Canada. We want to go to Australia. And they point out all these lavish countries because they are opportunities. They are globetrotters. They move from one country to the other. Like these Nigerians. They mess up this country. They go mess up another one. They live like hobos in their own countries. 200 million people. More than 100 million living like prisoners. And they come here, they claim things that they don't have access to in their own countries. In their own countries, and they've got media telling South Africans that they are xenophobic. No. What about our people? I mean, you come to the CBDs, Zimbabweans raping, pickpocketing, stabbing people, broad daylight, Nigerians selling drugs, abducting babies, Cyprus mafia, Jewish mafia, Israeli mafia, Russia mafia, East European mafia, as if it was not enough that we had to deal with Europeans who came here after the Enlightenment age, thieves, sick people who came here, prisoners, brought here by the Dutch East India Company, 1820, British settlers, citizens, occupying lower standing in Europe, sentenced to come here during the Voyager trips. And then again, our people must take secondary seat behind foreigners, as if this is not their country. People who've been liberated since 1957, they did nothing, sweet bogorol, to make their conditions better. They come here to South Africa and they declare themselves as refugees. And you say, who's chasing you, dog? Who's chasing you in your own country? There is no war. The courts, they have found that these guys, they just went into the streets. They now want everyone else to pay for them to go to Canada, Australia. Hey, they must go back the same way they came in here. Yeah, sometimes I wish that we had a government like China. As they come in, vuleli sampompo, ebhodini. Yeah, baba, faka maharafu. Yeah. Should bazi nabo ukuthi mawuze South Africa khala intshiza baba, ebhodini khala intshiza. Njengesikhathi samabhunu. I mean, look at Europe. Go German, foreigners raping, killing people. A group of men, no children. And they say they're refugees. Go Britain. Go Sweden. France. They're doing because they messed up their own countries. Crying for stuff that does not belong to them. Yeah. If you've got a friend who's a journalist, you must know that you've got a bastard for a friend. Those guys, yeah, they're not good. I mean, I'm a journalist because in most instances, journalists are used as spies. Like this WHO workers, they're used as spies during wars, even in times of peace. Yeah. Fake news. Come to South Africa, listen to our 702, in this control of Zionist, go NCA. Said Nabu Power FM Sabafana Nabu. And then they will deny it and say, nobody tells me what to say. Hey, dog. Self-censorship. And even the selection criteria, how you are selected. They select similar people. From one DJ to the next. Same view. And you're telling me that there's no censorship. These guys, they don't contradict each other. Yeah, it's a messed up situation. The corporate world, they prefer us with Lasibe congested, 100 million people, 200 million people, like they prefer in Indonesia, China, Brazil, so that they can exploit. And then the price of labor can go down because you cannot bargain. ShopRite went to Nigeria. They advertised 400 jobs for people who are going to operate the till. 5 million people applied. And what rights do you have then? Like in China, they want a situation where if you're absent today, don't bother coming to work tomorrow because you've got a replacement. And when you tell, like myself, they'll tell you that you're xenophobic. You're being xenophobic. South Africans, we never ran away. We fought la. 2 ANC spies, they went to exile. Nakhona bebahlala kuma camps. Now 20 million people coming in and say, we helped you. Helped us where? You were fighting each other those days. And those 2 comrades that you put in your camps, they were not allowed to roam around freely, like you are raping in the CBDs, polluting. And you must be quiet. Are you telling me that black journalists don't see that? That this country is being overrun? This is a Trojan horse. Look at UK. They're telling you that whites are becoming a minority in UK. The Muslims, foreigners, they're taking over, Baba. They will tell you now in their conversations that we'll make babies with them. We'll multiply. We'll outnumber them. In 100 years, we'll capture their country. This is what is happening here. In 30 years, we'll be voting for these bastards. We'll be voting for them. And uzothini? Uyako DA, bashanga bo Van Damme. ANC benabo sidumo. Abo Blatton Nzimande babakhubuya le eMozambique. Omalusi Nkanyezi Gigamba was a minister. There are many ke ku-ANC. Nomunye ngimbonile lapha kuDiye kuChikunga. Ngabona ne-MMC ye-China. Have you ever seen a black person being anything in China, ministerial, political appointment. And then when you cry, they tell you that you're being xenophobic. Xenophobic, my foot. This country is being overrun by nationals who did not suffer with us. You condemn me, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is right. He's right. He says America first. I don't blame him. America first. And he's against these Mexicans jumping the wall. And unfortunately, these Mexicans are taking privileges that belongs to black people, because black people have suffered slavery. These Mexicans, their journey came late, to America. Black people are the indigenous of America. They were there first. Like we are indigenous in all these continents. Cambodia, we were there. India, we were there. Britain, we were there. When there was no one, there was no Europe. Yeah, our journalists, they will tell you that, the Cape Townian refugees. We don't have refugees in Cape Town. These guys, their situation is self-inflicted. White people in South Africa, they're so unpatriotic. They employ these guys because they're spiteful. They want to spite the government. They want to spite local people. As if you never fought together. As if South Africans in recent years have tortured them. Yeah, we fought during wars of resistance. And they're supposed to say, guys, we know each other from back then, man, over 300 years. Let us make peace. No. They go bring people who've murdered them in Kenya, who've fired them in Nigeria, Gabon, who've killed them in Zimbabwe, took their farms, burnt their bums with hot iron, raped them, like they're raping them now in their farms. And they say, hey, we are being killed in farms. You're not killed by South Africans, dog. South Africans don't have history of killing white people. You are killed by your employees that you brought from Zimbabwe. They're showing us. They're terrible, these ones. Because you don't pay them. They come and rape, kill bus, rape missus, rape the children, kill the dog, kill the helper, dump the car somewhere, and take fob. South Africans don't have that history of killing farmers. Ngangisuke eSoweto ngiyobulala farm eBloemfontein. Or ngisuke le eMlazi, eTsakane, eSoshanguve. It's your people. People do crime where they live, in close proximity. Ngakusuke uhamba ama-kilometer uthi ngiyobulala farm eDurban. It's your people that you employed. Foreigners who are coming here because you're giving them jobs. The next thing you don't want to pay them, they kill you, they rape you. The next thing you say, hey, we have been killed in South Africa because to you, black people, they all look the same and you are not the same. These guys, they don't have standards. They don't have standards. You can check now. If Nigerians come to your neighborhood, Zimbabweans, they pollute. They have no standards. Value in Tabangayas. Then you have this bastard listening to these Jewish fellas. These Jewish fellas, they want open borders. All over the world, they go to France, receiving border jumpers, foreigners. In Norway, they are there. But in Israel, they want high walls. And you've got black journalists, fools, who keep on criticizing our people. They don't realize that this is a Trojan horse. We've suffered. Apartheid. Now, you go to our public hospitals. It's them. It's them all over, making babies. It's them everywhere. Our people no longer go to the CBDs. It's them. Kuma parks, bafika, bayalala. It's them. The blind, the cripples. And we must be quiet. Because stupid South African journalists, black journalists, all of them, they're useless, with no exceptions. Black journalists are bastards. Bastards.